dressed in their alternative white. Thunder set to kick off. Back deep to return for Moreton Bay. Lonnie Botel. And number 11, Taryn Wiley.
I'll tell you what, if I'm returning this ball, I'm staying away from Liz Partu here, left of the kick here.
And getting us underway there. Yana Floridis will be handling all the kicking duties today. Check that. It's actually Rochelle Ware back deep to return. And interesting call there. Now, the ball did not travel into the end zone from what I saw. And yet, it looks like they're ruling a touchback. Are we getting an inverted whistle here?
I think so. It seems to, I don't know if they're trying to save the legs and get the game going. It is quite warm out there, so let's see what they,
Haven't seen a sheepish smile there on the one hand. He might have just got his lines mixed up there, but ultimately I don't think anyone's complaining.
No.
Yet.
Yet, yeah.
So, here comes Wiley, the rookie quarterback, who's been given the quarterbacking duties here in her first season. It'll be a designed run on her first play, and there she is. You mentioned her just a play ago, Liz Patu, already setting the tempo for this Thunder defense.
Yeah, no, she's an animal. I've had the blessings to see her play against the Ravens women, and she's an aggressive linebacker, and she's going to make the tackle. She doesn't miss many.
And certainly it lays the lumber last week against the Stingrays. Big hit. I think it was against Lauren Evans on one of the speed options to the outside. If she gets you, you feel it. This will be second down now. A loss of 2 on that last play. With one in the backfield, they'll give it off to Ware. Ware, trying to bowl over defenders, won't get a whole lot, maybe gets it back to the line of scrimmage. Making the tackle there is the returning defensive end, and Piccocola.
She showcased some power there. She got through the first tackle, but the Griffith Uni defence there, tackling in numbers and able to tackle. I don't know if she gained any yards there.
Yep. Grabbed about a yard on the play. Speaking of numbers, there is a clear discrepancy here between the two teams. A whole nother team on the sideline for the Thunder. Just 2 in reserve for the Moreton Bay Raptors. Wiley will take her first pass attempt, throwing to the right edge, intercepted by Floridis. Floridis has got a pretty good record against the Raptors. Had an intercept in her debut game against the Raptors and almost took it back for 6.
Now, look, speaking from experience, this is one I would probably drop, but well done there, bro, 87, to skewer that ball in, and now our offense are in scoring position, so great execution there on defense.
I just want to correct myself there. So they almost made it. It was, she did run it all the way back from beyond 50, if memory serves correctly, as one of her very first plays in her very young football career. Rugby league background, as a lot of these ladies have into this, in the pretty young period of women's American football here in Australia. Early days. Amanda Ewers now here with the Thunder offense, almost ready in the red zone. Long pass to Cubis, 1 play, and they are on the board. Ewers to Cubis.
Cubis got separation right from the snap there, which is interesting because they're playing above them, and she still managed to get past them. So, how that works,
all Australian talent, and that's how she gets it done. Using that height, using that experience, and playing DB, if you're particularly beaten on that play, was Lonnie Botel, who is one of the more experienced ones, but sometimes it takes a little while to get your eye in. And on the slant, intended there to the outside wide receiver, and number 37, who's not on my team list, but I have a feeling that could be Sunshine Lawrenson. Incomplete on the slant. Coverage on the play there by Wiley.
It's good to set the pace here by the Thunder early on. Getting points on the board now, rather. And see if they can keep this momentum up. Also interesting to see what happens with the kickoff here. Are they going to let them return them?
Yeah, I think there'll be close eyes on the goal line here on this next play. But look, it's always going to be an uphill battle for the Raptors, still chasing their first victory. Coming off a 32-0 loss against the Ravens, a forfeit a week before that, where they were supposed to take on the Thunder, and then another tough outing against the Stingrays, 38-0. This one will be returned from the 23. A nice cut back inside by Botel, gets it all the way past the 40, so this will be good field position for the Raptors, trying to avoid a turnover, unlike their last drive.
There was this part two again there with the tackle. She seems to get everywhere, you know. Probably not the fastest athlete out there, but she takes her angles, and look, I haven't seen her miss many tackles.
First down upcoming for Wiley and her offense. This offense called by Rachel Dutraband, of course, plenty of experience playing quarterback herself and calling offenses and defenses last year. Defensive coordinator for the Thunder. High snap, but it's picked up by Wiley. Wiley will have to run it, and will take a loss on the play. Picala making the stop.
Wiley needs to get a cleaner snaps. As you can see, she's getting that a bit late or a bit high, and then she's having to try and react and scramble around the pocket. So she can, if her and the centre can get on the same page, they might be able to get some plays here for positive yardage.
Now, many people might know this about you, Liam, but you have been on the receiving end of a late call-up to playing quarterback, which is not unlike a rookie quarterback season. In their first ever season of football, as we see the second down play take place. Speed option out to the left. Wiley keeps it again. Gets back past the 40, close to the original line of scrimmage. The third down will be 3rd and 11. As flag down on the play at the line of scrimmage. And it'll be holding. So this, well, it'll be interesting to see if they take the third down or if they try to push him back here. I actually wouldn't put it past them to just back themselves on the 3rd and long.
Speaking about my experience at late call-ups at QB, I think the only thing I had going for me was my legs. I'm not really renowned for my arm. If it is, it's either overthrowing or completely missing the receiver. So,
but more importantly, what I was going to draw the comparison on, what you can probably speak to the sort of headspace of a quarterback trying to process all this information in such a key position, early in their career. What are they seeing right now when they're seeing all these offenses as we see this?
I think the biggest thing as well is they have a really aggressive Griffith University defense here. So I remember for me, from my experience, the defense wasn't nearly as aggressive with the Griffith Uni here. So she's going to really have to calm it down in her head. Her inner dialogue's going to have to be positive. So I think what she's seeing is big Liz Partu coming through the middle and rushing that pass just there. So her big thing to focus on, I think, now would be slowing down that inner dialogue, keeping calm. This is a long game. They're still in the fight.
4th down and 25 following the penalty and the incomplete pass there. And this will be punted away, but the punt is blocked, or at least tipped at the line. And eventually it will be downed by part 2. And just hoping that she mightn't have been on the right side of the rule book there was the 42 and Hannah Bard.
No harm in trying.
You're going to play to the whistle, or in this case through the whistle.
100%.
6-0, Thunder back onto their second offensive possession. So far, of course, their last drive only lasting the one play. A touchdown from Ewers to Cubis. Ewers doesn't like that ball.
Let's see if the Raptors defense here can stand up and keep them out.
Lawrenson in the backfield. And it will be a keeper. Quarterback option, and Ewers will just take this one down where on the initial contact.
Great play there. She seemed a bit hesitant there once she got to the edge. Maybe just trying to pick her lanes, but great play there. To get the drive started.
Had a very physical night just a week ago against the Stingrays in a very defensive orientated game. Final score was 8-0, And Ewers ran in what would eventually be the game-winning field goal and two-point conversion. Thunder relied heavily on her running game just that week ago. And speaking of which, here she goes again, but taken down nicely from behind. And that is Kyla Amali.
That was great contain there. Not letting them get outside. I think the corner of the outside back actually forced them into 36 there, and she was there to make the tackle. So they can keep that up. They can keep her in the pocket and maybe try and force her to throw or run up the middle to their bigger linebackers.
And a whole lot of time in that huddle. And staying in the spread formation, Lawrenson out now, split out to wide receiver. In the backfield is Floridis. Floridis pass protects, looking for the out.
Ooh.
Had it and lost it. Incomplete. It'll bring up 4th and short.
And Wiley's almost there to pick that off. See how pop and pick type. What was the drills we used to do back in the day?
Tip drill?
That's the tip drill, yeah.
Literally on the tip of your tongue, mate.
Yeah, almost.
$6-0 Thunder on 4th down, trying to keep this drive alive to add points. That they will. Florida's untouched so far. Following blockers, Wiley makes the stop at the 1. Fresh set of downs, 1 yard away from a further 6.
Great little speed option here. 87, getting in the space here, almost bowling over her own player there. So look, they're just knocking on the door here, and all they need to do is put it in.
That's exactly what the speed option's designed to do, make that edge defender make a decision.
100%.
Tail of a latch, popular in the red zone. They won't go to her though. It'll be Floridis on a bit of a awkward looking toss, and Floridis eventually taken down by Ware and Botel.
Bit dangerous tackling up around the head here. Could have been a little 15-yard horse collar there, but doesn't seem to be the case. She seems to be fine, so no harm done.
It's getting quite warm down here.
Yeah, I'm sweating,
Here
Kenny.
Here in the heart of Logan in Regents Park. Can only imagine some of these ladies who are playing both ways, how they're going to be feeling come 4th quarter. Pass over the middle, caught for a touchdown. Coming up, that is the H-back, Elizabeth Ulale.
Great touch pass here, just get it over the defender's head. Thrown in the right location, able to just basically stand there in the end zone, catch it, 6 points.
And another 6 going for a 2-point conversion now. Looking out to the left, an open receiver was Valach. Can't connect on the pass. Score remains 12-0. And Elizabeth Alali there, seen on replay once again. They had a similar play, not in the end zone, but in the middle of the field on a 4th down where Alali was open but dropped it very quickly on that little turnaround route. Makes no mistake this time. It gives her team a 2-score lead.
Anything you'll see there, trust me, I know best. That was a lot of sidearm, so the ball was a bit uncontrollable there and just didn't get it on the mark.
Floridis was a huge part of getting them inside the 5, back to kick off.
The special teams here have been pretty good lately.
Oh, especially behind Liz Part 2, but Floridis taking a bit of a trip on her kick prep. But usually the kicking split between Carey and Floridis, but Floridis handling it all in Carey's absence, pooches it down to the 35. Will eventually be fielded by Botel. Botel looking for some space, cuts it back past one defender, and now the rest of the stop troops come through. Lauren Newell taking it down at the 41.
There's some great field position here. Start on the 41. They're just knocking on halfway. The Raptors can get a drive here going. They'll be able to give themselves in the position to put some points on the board. So, look, it'll come down to whether or not those snaps are getting there on time and, as I said, staying calm.
Raptors trying to draw inspiration from their round 4 encounter with Griffith, where they only went down 14-0.
See Rachel Tuchman here at QB.
possibly just trying to settle this offense down. Dutraban now in, trying to find the slant, almost getting the scraps there was the 5 and Peterson. And off the hands of...
And the big thing there is you're jumping up for a ball and you see 3 white jerseys around you. You get a little bit worried about your ribs.
That's the brave part of playing wide receiver in this sport. Intended receiver on the last play was Botel. Lined up again as the near side wide receiver. On the open side of the Moreton Bay offense right now in the backfield, and they will call this for a false start. Almost getting away with it there. It was Miss Kyla O'Malley, but it quickly acknowledges her mistake as soon as the whistles fly.
She knew it straight away. I think she seems to be calming herself down. She's not letting it get to her. Walking back slowly to the huddle, see if they can reset and get this ball moving.
I wouldn't be surprised if Dutraban's in here just to try and give Wiley a bit of a spell as well. Wiley, I've seen her playing both ways, of course special teams, so...
Wouldn't be surprised to see Wiley coming back in there.
We're in a tailback. Receivers split very wide. The outside of the numbers is Botel once again. Good protection. Trying to get the swing pass out to Rochelle Ware. It's a backwards pass, no whistles. And eventually fielded by Ware. And this will bring up 4th down.
These last few plays we've seen when they've thrown the ball, there seems to be around 3 or 4 Griffith University defenders around the around the receiver. So being a Raptors receiver, it can be a bit daunting. I know I've spoken from experience, especially running out the backfield like that, and you look up and you got 3 linebackers in your head. You're like, well, this is going to hurt. So,
especially when they haven't had any luck pushing the ball downfield so far.
Absolutely.
So you have all those defenders playing up tight. You know, this is where you've got to try and get something going, even if it's incomplete. Just threaten that deep pass and try to get a bit more space underneath.
Like even at this point now is, you know, getting a reception, and even if it is a yard or 2, or you're just getting back to the line, it's showing you can execute your game plan.
That's right, this is 3rd down. There's that deep shot we were talking about, but unfortunately falls short of a receiver, and that is Wiley now moving out to wide receiver. Not a bad option if you ask me. Had a step there on Floridus. And now it is 4th down. They've sent on the punting unit. Rochelle's Ware is back with her bright yellow boots to punt this ball away.
Yeah, you can't miss her.
Good snap off the outside of the boot and caught and fielded by Sarah Jane Bell, but eventually Liz Batu downs the football at halfway, and the Thunder will come on trying to add the 3rd touchdown of the day. Bit of a David and Goliath battle today between 2 teams. Team number 1 taking on team number 4. Griffith Uni only had the 1 loss so far this season, which was, and I will correct myself because I did say it was the Gold Coast Stingrays last week. It was, in fact, the Bayside Ravens coach Peter Davies did message me through the week just to just to confirm that error on my behalf. So yeah, it was a 22-6 defeat in the hands of the Ravens back in week 2. Floridus with a good run there advances as well into a Raptor territory.
It was great work there by the O-line here.
Late flags.
Straight up the A-gap there. Makes a move on the first defender there. And they're moving the sticks here. There is a, seems to be a Raptors defender down.
Actually, no flags on the play. It was just a Raptor play down. It is SJ Bell.
And she's up.
So she'll walk off under her own strength. Almost dance off, in fact. The players will take advantage of a quick drink break.
And the officials should jump in on this too.
It's 22-6. The only time Griffith's been on the end of on the losing side of the scoreboard this season. Their past couple of weeks has looked pretty good. 8-0 against the Rays in round 9. Of course, all teams having the bye in round 8. The forfeit victory in round 7. So it was actually a couple of weeks they hadn't played football, and they eventually took on the Rays in round 9. Round 6, 34-14 victory over Gold Coast, and 30-12 avenging their loss against the Ravens in round 5. So the most consistent team so far of the women's division. Of course, it can be tough when there's only 4 teams in the women's division, so the cycles around very quickly. Of course, different story in the men's, as that'll be the first time the Logan City Bears and the Bayside Ravens face off.
Very interesting too. There are a lot of former Bears on that Ravens team, and Jared Stegman and Mitchell Bessie.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. So Troy Poisey on the other side and Shane Prosser. So there's I wouldn't say a bad blood. There's a lot of brotherhoods that have kind of been split up.
Amanda Ewers now on this play, trying to hit Luzalale again on the short pass, incomplete, brings up second down. But of course, it's not like there's just that little bit extra of competitiveness when you're taking on an old teammate.
100%. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some banter thrown back and forth out there with the men this afternoon. So we'll just have to wait and see.
12-0, Fundle leads. And the Moreton Bay 32, Ewers loads and throws, trying to hit the latch, almost intercepted by Rochelle Ware, off the hands of the Australian defender.
This straight rush here, off the edge, to pressure the QB. Still managed to get it on target, but the pressure was right there. There's, it was great coverage and great rush, pass rush. Don't get my words out, Kenny. It might help.
It's not like you're on live broadcast or anything.
Oh, no, not at all.
3rd down and 10. Ball still at the 32. They go back to the ground game. Ewers pitches it later. She does so well. Out to Floridis. Got stopped at the one last time. Won't be the same case this time around. Floridis, no flags from what I can see, adds the 3rd touchdown for the afternoon for this Thunder offense.
And kudos to the back there staying and keeping the play, keeping the play going, keeping that option there. She didn't bite and go to lead block, and that kept the play alive, and now they've scored 6 points again.
The old pitch relationship that Adam Bolton talked about in depth in last week's coverage. And it should be something that comes to second nature to a lot of these
100%.
players.
I think they practice it a lot. You can see they'll manage to keep their spacing and distance. That that play was still available after 5 or 6 yards.
On the 2-point conversion, Florida is successful, converts her own touchdown, adding the 2-point conversion. 20-0 now towards the back end of the first quarter.
And great vision there, just watching that back.
I was talking very briefly to Amanda Ewers early this morning about Floridis and how much she's improved from just her rookie season, a season ago, and she's absolutely excited about the athlete that Floridis is becoming, and especially in a new position at a running back. Played a lot of defense and wide receiver a year ago. Now serving the Thunder as running back 1.
See Liz Patu here kicking off, it seems.
Floridis needs a breather off that.
And that's not a kick you want to take on.
Yeah. Usually you look forward to taking on the kick, and not in this case. It's actually not a bad kick there from Liz Patu. Botel can't field it on the first hop. Now we'll cut back to the middle of the field, finds a block, turns on some jets, finding some room here for Moreton Bay. Sees Liz Patu and tries to find another route, but before she does that, she's taken down by Puka Kala.
Great to turn some yardage there. You can see the Thunder kickoff were a bit staggered, opened up some lanes downfield. Look, I'd probably react the same when I see big number 9 back there ready to lay me out. So great play there by the Raptors. Great return.
Great angle from Patu there in space. Take that angle too sharp, and Botel's all the way home. But this is the best field position they've had all day. 3 yards deep into Thunder territory. Duchman remains at quarterback. We're flanking over left side at tail. Run to Ware on first down. Positive yardage. Gets just short of the 40.
They started up front there. That Raptors O-line there engaged all the defensive rushes. And look there, now they've got 5 yards to go and can, essentially move the sticks for the first time this game. So
Successful play on first down so far out of the 3 drives they've had. Ball on the Thunder 41, 2nd and 4.
it's important here for the Thunder defense here to stand up. But equally, I think the Raptors know how important this drive is, so let's see who wants it more.
That tight end there. Showing blitz is part 2. Will back off. Dujaban will try to drive this ball to Wiley, but it goes to Velach now. I'm surprised that almost wasn't a catch and fumble defensively. But Velach, who's usually a sure-handed wide receiver, gets a bit of the cornerback bug in her there on that play. Velach with a basketball background.
Yeah,
should have been all about picking up that little
look, I
defensive
should have
rebound.
been saying something there, but I can't talk, so I'm just going to remain quiet on that one. If
The
for
king
anyone
of
that knows,
bat downs, Liam Reeves to the right of me now.
as Kenny said, got hands of granite.
3rd down, 4 yards to go. Raptors will likely treat this as 4-down territory. Oh, and we're going to see the chains move regardless. We've got defensive PI. And we'll take a look back at that one more time. I'm trying to figure out who it might have been there. I'm thinking it might have actually been on the 16, not Velach. So that might have actually been on Samonte on the route underneath, but it'll be Ware again on first down. Driving her legs, picks up a couple of yards on first down. Both teams slowing up the pace and taking a little longer in the huddle now as this
Which
afternoon
allows us
rages
to
on.
distribute team sheets to each other.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter. 20-0 is your scoreline here. The Thunder leading the Raptors. Raptors in possession, though, and on the move. Trying to get on the scoreboard here this afternoon, Week 10. Gridiron Queensland's live streams brought to you by Live Streaming Brisbane. Bit of a walk back first quarter. Couple of standard summation. Liam Reeves, what you got?
Not a lot, not a lot. Look, I am secretly, or not so secretly, dying in this car right now. I think we're on probably upwards of the high 20s, low 30s. I am precious, Lily, and white, and this heat is getting to me, Kenny. Oh. Kenny's advised me we're getting the office started. Never mind.
Liam threatens to drive onto the field right now from our mobile commentary booth.
I do like to make an impact.
20-0 as we begin the second quarter. Rachel Dutraband making a couple of changes now, instructing where to protect, and overthrow here, almost intercepted by the cornerback and Adria Artis.
Great play there. She needs to keep her feet under her. Again, a bit rich for me to say that, but look, she's right there to make the play, so it's making sure she has her eyes up and staying in that zone.
A couple of times now, Dutraband's tried to get that backside slant on a 3rd and 10. Let's see if they add some variation under pressure as Dutraband can't get that ball down because of that. Try to get her outlet and wear, but incomplete, bringing up 4th down.
Okay, the Puka was got right through there. Rachel didn't have the time to set her feet and get the ball out as cleanly as she'd liked. She'd be kicking herself for that, but...
And, well, I thought they would be going for it here, but Ware's back at punter, and we'll try to pooch this into one of the corners. Bobbles a snap initially. This is coming down into the hands of Liz Patu. This could be trouble. Up to the left-hand sideline now, uses a stiff arm, and Wiley and Ware combined to take her down before she can do too much damage. The Thunder will take over.
Big shout out to Wiley there to get in front of Liz Patu and make the tackle. She had a big stiff arm here. Still managed to wrap her up. Second player there was Rachel Ware. Rachel Ware, rather. Rochelle, even. I'll get there eventually.
And there was a penalty on the play, but of course the Thunder will take the possession there. And Thunder.
I do apologise, Rochelle.
You're not the first, and you certainly won't be the last.
That's right.
First down and 10 now for the Thunder. Staying in the same formation, not a whole lot of attention to vary up the formations here for the Thunder this afternoon. Valach picks up a first catch of the day. Sold one there.
Great decision there by Ewers. I believe there was a double screen here. Check the right, wasn't there. Drop it off to number 10, Taylor Valach. And they're close to moving the 6 for around 7 yards.
And leaves it with a second and 3. Lawrenson, near side wide receiver of this 4-wide set. Ewers stepping up, clean pocket, delivering a pass to Cubis. Cubis with her second catch of the day, breaking tackles now and getting this all the way down to the 24.
Great pitch and catch there, and the route was actually... It was better than I'd ever try and run. But then again, I was never much of a renowned receiver here. Splits the linebackers here, gets straight up between the corners and the safeties. Number 19 could make the tackle there, but the Raptors were pursuing there and they did tackle in numbers, so they're lucky to stop them where they are now.
Cubis just once she's a very long body, obviously, once she gets that inside position, it is awfully difficult to try and make a play on that football. 20-0, Thunder now just outside the red zone. Ewers, Ponder's passing, continues that train of thought and gets us inside the red zone there with a catch to Taylor Valash.
Great tackle, great secure tackle there by Rachel Dutraban. That was a one-on-one situation. I think there was a support player behind, but Taylor Valash is quite an athlete. Would have been quite hard to stop her once she gets past Rachel and can make the move as she has more field to move. So great play there by Rachel.
As you see, flag on the play there. It's a legal player down field, I believe. That'll wipe off Ewers and Valach's efforts there, and they'll move backwards, and we'll have first and 15 now. I'm assuming one of the offensive line, what they saw Ewers roll out to the outside, probably thought she was on her bike and tried to get downfield for it.
Very generous QB.
Fortunately, she threw that pass. First down and 15 now. They're at left tackle, Shawnee Wilson. Protecting the blind side of Ewers. Ewers steps into that pass nicely and completes. Getting him back to the edge of the red zone. Liz Ulale grabbing her second pass from and the fourth target of the day.
Great catch there. Ulale just seemed to bodied out the defenders there. Didn't give anyone else the opportunity to catch that ball or even touch it. So great play there.
Bit of a homecoming for Lale, former Jet from the former Logan City Jets, who used to grace this field here in Regis Park. Hyde Park, I should say. Nothing one in London. Ewers off her back foot. Almost. Oh, was it actually brought in there from Cubis?
I think Cubis was shaking her head there. She thought she had it for a second. I thought she had it for a second.
Our vision's impeded by one of the officials there, but that same official's the one who made the call there. And actually, I think
They're
was a
moving the
catch.
sticks?
Yeah, no. They're giving it to her. The
Well.
cold stare of Casey Cubis
She knew it.
got the call. Just outside the 10, ball on the 12. Florida's now back at tailback. Cubis far to the left. It'll be a quarterback keeper. Gets the offload off to Florida. She shows off a bit of footwork. Trying to spin and turn in the tackle now. And will be brought down by Morty Armstrong.
Kenny, for a second, I'm sure you'd appreciate this. That looked like they'll Canberra Raiders-esque. With the offloads there and the tackles.
And shout out to the runners-up, the Canberra Raiders.
Shout out.
Losing end of the NRL Grand Final a couple of weeks ago. Inside the 10 now. Second down though. The first down marker is 2 yards out from the red zone, and the Moreton Bay Raptors want to have a chat about this. They could take a timeout.
Ewers is in a great position here to get their girls another 6 points. I wouldn't be surprised if they start getting their move out the pocket, maybe some more speed option as well.
Well, certainly got a lot of options here. They haven't really tipped a hand in either of their cases, especially if you start looking at some of their 2-point conversion options as well, which is more or less the same from the position they're in now there. So I've seen them throw to the outside, Cubis early, and they've gone to the speed option. They've also given it to the inside Floridas.
You make a good point there. The pass isn't out of the question either, but that backfield
Especially
duo,
the average
100%.
receiving height of about 6 foot.
Yeah, no, they're all taller than me. Yeah, but that backfield duo there of Ewers and Floridas is just, it's been carving up the Raptors defense all game. So in this, the field's a lot closer and tighter here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him try and run it in here with maybe an option or a QB power run off the outside.
I would also keep an eye on the tight end lined up to the right of the line there, Liz Ulale. If they choose to blitz, she will be open over the middle again. They double her with the safety. Hughes will take off. Still trying to get that ball away. And interception here. Wiley now will run this out of bounds at the 19, but Ewers was desperate to keep that play alive, but the rest of her team, you can see the top of the screen there, that accepted that it was a time to turn that into a run, and she tries to force it in there, and Wiley comes away with it.
Hindsight's always 20/20. I bet you Ewers is kicking herself there, not for just taking the run, getting that out of bounds, stopping the clock here. Now Moreton Bay actually forced a stop here, and great interception there by Taryn Wiley.
And just to the left of our commentary booth and on your screens there, you can see the chat happening to Ewers. Talking about adjustments next time that situation arises.
I guarantee she knows what she did wrong.
And really, there's no wrong or right answer about how we handle things. We used to be on the same page.
True that.
See, Ewers there hinting at Lawrenson to find the back of the end zone next time. Back on offense, though, gifted to them by Wiley's efforts. And they'll be give to Ware, who's been the servant on first down, the last 3 first down calls for him.
Again, as I've been saying all afternoon, that Thunder defense there is tackling in numbers. There's 2 or 3 to the Raptor player each time they've got the ball. So great work there. They kind of ebb and flow from each other. Shutting down for no yardage or, taking yardage away from them.
Offensive line for the Raptors certainly has their hands full this afternoon, trying to stem the bleeding here, chasing a 20-point lead here in this second quarter. Dudjaban at quarterback. And we'll try to get this to Ware in the flat. Overthrown there. Dudjaban having trouble finding her receivers. Dudjaban now trying to communicate with her players, trying to get them all on the same page. 2nd and 10. 3rd and 10.
There's a lot of pressure getting through there as well, so it is quite tricky to get the ball accurately. But you see Rachel here, she's wanting the routes run a bit different. So let's see if they can get on the same page here and turn some yardage up.
And just speaking about that, Raptor offensive line, as Dutraban has to throw a dummy here, tries to take off down the left-hand side. Will eventually slide and take the tackle there. But went back to the left-hand side where you might see the number 58 there, the return of Bernie Mariani. You can see on screen now, had a knee injury last year on her live stream game over at Mitchelton, which obviously has taken more or less a season to recover. It was around this game last year where she did it, as where punts this away is blocked in the process. Elizabeth 2 will choose where she scoops it up. She does. Has got plenty of space now. Tries to cut it back to the punter, and Ware's got her down and tackled her just outside the 10. So some more good field position for the Thunder offense. But yes, a welcome back to Ms. Mariani, who's obviously worked hard to get herself back into shape for this four-season 2019 came to an end.
100%. Shout out to Bernie. She was around most games last year, taking photos. So, she never really removed herself from the game. But yeah, good to see her back. Shout out to you, Bernie.
She did it playing weirdly, and they were in a process where more or less everyone got to play wherever they wanted last year. I think she did it while she was playing corner. Yeah. Here she is now back in defensive tackle. Ewers coming back and throwing a pick on her last possession. Looking for the end zone, pulls it back, throws for the corner now. And too tall, looking for Lawrenson, proving to her that she has not lost faith in her at all. There goes right back to her.
Ewers just displayed her throwing power there. She actually overthrew that to the back of the end zone from about, where are they at now? At the 15. It wasn't too, inaccurate. Just a bit too much power on that one. A bit less power, a bit more finesse. Not that I can talk again, but that's 6 points.
Audience, I do wish you could have just seen my co-broadcaster here just trying to crunch the numbers in his head for a quick second there before he decided to pull out. Ewers looking again, same play, looking for Vlach that time, and incidental contact. Here's Vlach from catching that pass. Dutraban on the coverage. And that's the old China concept, trying to get Vlach open corner of the end zone.
There's a bit of fatigue here, I think, on the Griffith Uni offense here. They have had a lot of ball time. They've had a lot of time to work. So I bet you they're waiting to punch this in right now.
3rd down and 10. They'll just go back to basics. Floridus with a good run in between the guards. Spins out of one tackle and gets this ball.
Floridus is running like a young TJ Yeldon there, hitting the spin up the middle here. Great blocking there by the O-line. And great tackle by Rochelle Ware.
Another tackle by the All-Australian defensive back. Plenty of Australian reps, and probably a lot of these women obviously looking forward to the next opportunity, for the next representative opportunity, which will come in the form of the WAGL early next year. Ewers with Floridus, but Ewers will try to get this pass over the middle that she does know. Incomplete. Thought it was successful there to Lale. Incomplete. And with that, and that'll be a turnover on downs. I thought they might have actually got the first down last play with Floridus, despite not getting the touchdown. But this is good news for the Raptors defense. That's 2 trips now inside the red zone. They've managed to repel this Thunder offense.
On the flip side of that, I don't know if this is the best news for the Raptors offense. You're dealing with a Thunder defense who's bringing a lot of pressure, and you're in the area right now to give up a safety. So it's time to get some execution here from the Raptors O-line, and better yet the rest of the team here, and see if we can get some yardage to close the game out.
Rochelle Ware looks spent. She's been doing a lot of defensive work and has been carrying a lot of this Thunder offense. They've run her on first down. The last 3 first downs will be Interesting if they try to take advantage here and throw play action past, but they won't. They'll throw to her, or at least attempt to, but it will be found in the hands of Hannah Baird, who will collect the pick 6 here.
Great interception there by Hannah. I think she kind of expected to come out there, sat out there, followed her receivers by 36 and 22 there, split between them, and then there's 6 points.
Well, where was the target? Usually by being handed the ball there. This time they try to get it out to her, she has been the target for the last couple of pass plays as well. Eventually the Thunder defense, and specifically Baird there, keys onto it, and has one of the easier pick 6s she'll score in her life.
I'm saying you dream for those opportunities.
Florida's trusted to add the 2, and that she does. Full converted touchdown here in the second quarter of this Week 10 matchup. And I'm not even sure if Dutraban saw where Baird was in that play. She had a lot of white jerseys in her face real quick, had to throw off her back foot, and was just hoping Michelle Ware was on the other end of it.
And that's been the case for most of the afternoon. It is quite difficult. I know I was actually privy to being third string QB. Quite a big deal. I know. Calm down. But especially training with that Bayside Ravens defensive line, going full contact scrimmage. It does get tricky when you have 3 D linemen coming in your face. So we understand.
28-0. And to add to that lead. Good users for the Raptors is they get the ball back.
Silver lining.
The silver lining of a pick 6 or a recovery 6.
Always an optimist. Florida's will be kicking here again.
Will be caught on the full in the second line there. With a block and a big hit there. Good football all around. Making the big tackle there was Gemma Hunter.
I believe that was Ali Tia making the tackle there. Read that perfectly, number 58 there. I felt
my
that.
apologies. Yeah, you're exactly right. One number 2 short for me, Ali Tia, on the stat sheet. And some of the Bayside Ravens and the Logan City Bears now heading to their respective warm-up positions. And their game not far away, following this game here, scheduled to kick off at 6:30 p.m. Ginger Band looking to make up from her last play. We'll hand this to Ware with a bit of space up the middle, taken down from behind.
Much better execution there by the Raptors there. They need to keep this going. There's not much time left in the quarter. I don't know if they're maybe just trying to run this out, get to the half and come out with another game plan, but...
I was alluding to earlier, both you and I have called players in our time. I'm waiting for them to just have the big play action fake there on first down and try to use that as an opportunity to go deep.
So I was going to say, if I was Madden, I was controlling the Raptors right now, we're throwing 4 verts all day.
There's your Ask Lips button right there.
Yeah, the most of the time
looking for the dirticals.
It's not great advice.
And then I bet you probably calling Gage out on the other side of that. Second down and 7 upcoming for the Raptors, and we might have a false start here. Confirming the something. I don't know, is there a potential injury or this is interesting.
There is a flag out there.
Yeah, there is a flag, but the officials, well, this is interesting. Maybe the officials there have wanted someone to look at blood, or they've been concerned about an HIA, or
entirely clear what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen.
Obviously we're not privy to the chats that are happening, but we're seeing both the starting quarterbacks. But from what I'm picking up here is the white hat referee I'm guessing, has inquired about an injured player, which is very unusual. We don't see that very often, but more and more we're putting the onus on officials to objectively just...
Gridiron's doing the come on guys, we want to get going.
both sidelines, just absolute confusion right now, but looks like we're going to get some football. They're checking off with the official. And 49 seconds is the communication being sent to us now. Time remaining in the first half. Thunder with a 28-0 lead. Patel and Wiley out wide at receiver. Showing blitz of the Thunder. All their linebackers up close to the line. They go speed option out to the left. A bit too close there, and Ware's got no space after receiving the pitch. Taking down my bed and Kyler.
And great contain there. Again, numbers to the ball here. Yes, and the running back needs to be wider. So as I was saying before, you have the duo of Ewers and Floridas. You see their spacing on the speed option is, opens
for the men's game, for me to following the women's game at 6:30. But right now, the Thunder in a commanding lead over the Raptors. Halftime, we had a brief chat about what the Raptors need to do to try and turn this into a ball game again. And you and I talked about the possibility of trying a couple of rotating the ball carriers, because Rochelle Ware looked absolutely spent towards the back end of that second quarter.
Yeah, she's playing both sides and getting really involved on defense. So we were saying, look, it might not be the worst thing to put Wiley at running back with Dutraband and seeing if they can get that kind of duo going.
And off the 1 foot, Botel.
Little squibby.
Goes down, proves too difficult to handle for part two. Leaves it for Peterson, who's very dangerous with a bit of space. Here she goes, following blockers down the left-hand side and steps out of bounds around the Raptors 32.
And great patience there by Hayley Peterson. Just kind of chill behind her defenders. The Flores was leading there, and they're right in the attacking position again from the kickoff.
Rich getting richer right now. Thunder receiving the second half kick. Of course, the Raptors won the toss and elected to receive. And here comes Ewers. He's already got a couple of touchdowns to her name. First play of our offensive day. She started off with a long pass to Cubas for a touchdown. Here she is now with great protection, looking for the end zone, looking for Valach, and Valach can't bring over the tough catch over her shoulder. Incomplete. And she gets up smiling.
Just rewatching that. Wasn't over the shoulder catch, and they're notoriously difficult. And again, Rachel Ware was there with the pressure. Rochelle Ware, rather. Again, I've done it, Rochelle. I do apologise. She has been heavily involved in the defence.
And there she is back right now.
She's still not giving any free rides, even though she has been playing both sides.
And that being said, we talk about Rochelle playing both sides. Effectively, everyone's playing both sides today.
Yeah, true.
87 in Florida, spinning and turning a spin cycle on this afternoon. Now backing herself to the outside. A stiff arm will get her inside the 5. Florida's making a highlight reel this afternoon.
I mentioned that she seems to get up a bit gingerly there, but again, looking like a young TJ Yeldon out there with the spin button. She's almost got her there. Great tackle by, I didn't catch the number there, I believe it was number 19, Lani Bartel. Playing with the safety there. She's actually a receiver as well, so playing both sides for Lani as well. Great tackle there to secure, or stop her from getting 6 points rather.
And Valach in the right slot. Batu now in the pass protect. Ewers has been trying to extend plays all day. Look for the back of the end zone, and Valach doesn't drop this one. A great catch at the back of the end zone. The Thunder, they push past 30.
So smiles and great roll out there by Ewers. She seems to be throwing much more accurate on the run and under pressure, which is a very rare trait. Great throw, great catch.
You say rare, but in the new age styles of quarterbacks with all these rollout schemes and
Kyler
Shanahan
Murray.
offense and whatnot, it's becoming more and more frequent to find quarterbacks who are comfortable throwing on the run.
I think I throw better on the run. Can't throw in a pocket. So I just can't throw to save my life, let's be real.
He threw a couple. Velach, touchdown scorer in the left slot now. Cubis outside her. Both of those guys scoring
Just part of
touchdowns.
it back here.
And putt two will stroll over with ease, adding the 2. And Ewers has got that unconventional type of, like, this is still a pitch right there, and instead of using the old push pass or anything like that, she still throws it like she was throwing the football.
And she
Will
stepped
count
up.
as a run play.
She stepped up into the pocket, into the pressure there, to extend that a second or two later. It's a great play there by Ewers. Really standing out in this game.
And it's amazing here in Australia. You see all different times where Ewers showing the sort of throwing style you have to run those plays. You see Damien Malloy in the men's comp who will still use the actual traditional rugby league parts for that, and then you have someone like Stegman who will get the old actual gridiron traditional
Flick at her wrist.
flick over the wrist. Pitch. On the back, kick it off. Botel and Ware to receive. Ware will pick this up. Not Wiley, and Bed's in there early, and she'll take her down. The Raptors take over on their own 37.
A tricky one there by Wiley. She doubted herself whether or not she could take the return or do the block. I think she could have done the block and let the returners do their work. Resulted in a tackle for no gain from where the ball was spotted. So
Officially spotted at the 38. And we'll see the Raptor offense for the first time here in the second half. First down, and now Dutraban is at wide receiver. And Wiley's back in at quarterback. They run the speed option again. Wiley keeps it, gets it back, and past the line of scrimmage for maybe a yard.
though it's minuscule, still positive yards. It'll be interesting to see if they keep at this sort of play, the speed option. Off tackle running with the QB and the running back here, so
Especially against such a fast Thunder front, but you can only do what you've practiced. Wiley back at quarterback on 2nd and 9. The workhorse in Ware to her left. This time they'll give it a delayed handoff to Ware. Ware breaks a tackle and grabs some yardage. This will make it a more manageable 3rd down.
great job there by the Raptors O-line to pick up the pressure there. There's a lot of people on that line of scrimmage there coming from the Thunder, rather.
Kate Bennett doing just enough to keep part 2 from blowing up that play early. Now we've got 3rd and 3.
That's the last person you want coming through untouched to hit you in the backfield. It's not going to feel too great.
High snaps taken well by Wiley. Ware had a bit of space, but shedding a block very nicely was Samonte. Takes her down just past the line of scrimmage. A gain of 1 on that run, and now we've got 4th and 2.
Again, they're executing better than they were in the first half here. Either getting back to the line or getting positive yards. Just an observation here. This Thunder sideline has turned into a bit of a rave.
Music pumping and everything. And calls of watching the hard count already sent out from the sideline. Not wanting anyone to jump offside here. 5 players on the line of scrimmage for the Thunder. Ware's got some work to do here, and I think she might be just short on a valiant effort on 4th down there. Maybe a stretch of the arm might have just got it, but the Thunder have done enough to get themselves the football back.
Great tackle there by Jessica Samonte. Again, it's the numbers to the ball. Gets in front of her there with support of Florotis again.
Oh, wait a minute. Take that back. Ware has done enough to get the arm raise. First down, Raptors. And now we're going to see the Thunder take a timeout after they might have thought for a second that they would have been getting the ball back. And let's take a look on replay here because it's right and close. It's pretty much right in line with that camera here. And, well, maybe Ware did get the arm stretched out and got the point of that football just beyond. He was just having a chat with the line judge, though. Just
I think I'm in the same mind of you as there. It was a very 50-50 call.
At the same time, they're also up 36-0.
Also,
I think you can let this one slide.
I believe as well. Yeah, that's a great point. But again, shout out to Rochelle again. She tried to extend the play and get out the outside, so great work by her too.
Just seeing the offensive line for the Thunder standing in front of me. Wilson, Williams, and Gemma Hunter. Wilson, the daughter of Coach Wilson, the Australian outback coach, and Kev Wilson. I should say, a long time stalwart of Gridiron Queensland and G West. And obviously Gridiron Australia as well, and now leading the charge for the women's next World Cup campaign. First down here for the Raptors. Digiban looking to pass, and again can't quite get that pass down on those slant attempts or these dig routes incomplete.
There's Adria Artis there getting fingertips to the ball. There she's kicking herself. You see her shaking it off. Almost in position to get the intercept there. Again, it's that Griffith Uni Thunder pressure that they're bringing through. A lot of people in that tackle box there. So if the Raptors O-line can stick up to that, and there's a lot of big bodies to move there as well. So got a big challenge to overcome.
Sorry, it was Wiley on that last pass attempt. Not Dutraman, who's obviously a wide receiver. And she will pitch this. This will technically be a pass play there to Ware. And she'll get it back to the line of scrimmage and maybe squeeze out a couple of inches.
So, they're great to draw the player in. There were a couple of Griffith Uni players that took each other out there to would have lost more yards. So I'm very lucky there, and very lucky break for Rochelle Ware to kind of get down the field and get back to the line of scrimmage.
Third down and 10 now. This Thunder interior is starting to get downhill real quick. The Raptors more or less forced to take their outlet option every time so far.
Does get quite overwhelming when they're bringing the pressure play in, play out.
Here they go again. Protection's good enough to get a pass off. Pass almost intercepted by Peterson there. Incomplete, bringing up fourth down.
Again, it's just that pass rush is coming through here. No time for the Raptors QB there to settle in, get the ball down, having to throw under pressure.
Fourth down. Looks like they are calling the play here.
I think they're going for a punt.
And thought they were calling a play here. They have come back out of punting formation. Where will send this ball downfield. It's high and caught by Peterson. Peterson at the 25 now is turned up field, cuts it back past one defender, and once again it's Ware adding another tackle to the stat sheet, but also a late flag. Hands might have gone where they shouldn't.
Again, that was Rochelle Ware there with the tackle. Again, great to get involved. Just got to try and lower that target there. It's getting a bit dangerous doing that horse collar, be 15-yard on.
We'll have a discussion here about whether that's a flag at all. It was certainly up there, but didn't actually see the grabbing of the collar. And they'll wave that off. Good call. Good no call. The replay was pretty clear there. Rochelle just grabbed her by the front of the jersey there, but not actually didn't actually drag her down by the back of the collar. So a good pick up there. 36-0. Thunder currently lead. Now they've got the ball here in the third quarter. Looking to extend this lead even more. And a pass completed to Alale there, trying to shake the first tackler, and she does. And now who else runs her out of bounds at the 40?
Great involvement by Ware there, but also great catch by Yulale. Able to break that first tackle. Just almost gets to the edge there, and a great blocking attempt there with that 37, whom I don't have the number for. The name, rather.
A couple of state teammates going at each other there. Lorenzen coming all the way outside the hashes. Ewers will hand this off. A nice jump cut by Floridas immediately, and will eventually be tackled there by the safety and Kyla Almali. Linebacker rather. Floridas constantly putting her agility on display this afternoon.
Yeah, great jump cut there by Yana to move the sticks.
Well, you've been comparing her to TJ Yeldon. That was very LT-like, if you ask me. Well, you keep saying a young TJ Yeldon. Pretty sure TJ Yeldon's like 27.
Yeah, but like, he don't spin move. He doesn't get enough time to run.
Please don't tell me 27's not considered young anymore.
When was the last time you see TJ Yeldon spin? Barely gets on the field. I'm talking like Alabama-esque.
Fair play. Fair play. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. And by my educated guess here that we could be moving to a running clock now in this fourth quarter. So very few things we will stop for. And
I mean, to rebut what you were saying before, 27 years old for an NFL running back, it's pretty up there, right? What's the average lifespan of an NFL running back? Yeah, in your twilight years. Well, you still got likes of Frank Gore and Adrian Peterson still getting it done. So
Frank Gore has somehow found the fountain of youth. He traded 2 ACLs in college for a few extra years in the NFL. Don't know how, as Cubis gets open towards the right-hand side of the field. Can't bring it in, though. Incomplete. Second down. With a win today, the Thunder, bar a long miracle from the Raptors, the Thunder will continue to sit atop the league in first place. The Gold Coast Stingrays beyond them, followed by the Bayside Ravens. An interesting run home from the top 3 teams to see where final seedings will stand going into the playoffs. At Sunshine Coast Stadium, a catch to an open Taylor Valach, who beats the first tackle, and now she's taken on Ware, and Ware will take her down at the 11.
Great decision there by Ewers to throw it underneath. Great block by 14, Casey Cubis. Almost get there, but again, Rochelle Ware getting involved on the defensive side.
No love lost there between Cubis and Dutraman, 2 really good friends outside of the gridiron. All business on field though.
I think there have been times on the field I've seen Rachel signalling to the Griffith Uni sideline to Cubis, and they've been having a bit of back and forth.
2 receivers at the left, one of which Valach inside Cubis. 2 very tall receivers to the left. Open slant there, trying to hit Lawrenson on the backside. And plenty of space to work with, but Ware closed in on that very quickly.
And who else but Rochelle Ware getting there and disrupting that pass. Bit high, but Rochelle Ware still there to get any chance of catching that ball.
Perhaps 7 tackles less, and she might have picked that off.
Oh, perhaps, yeah. Not to mention the amount of time she's run the ball.
Coming out with a trips formation now. Lale, middle of the 2 wide receivers, but again, they'll go to the backside looking for the comeback for Cubis. And a nice adjustment in the air. See Cubis pick up her second touchdown today, beating Dutraman on the coverage.
It's a dicey ball here. I just want to see that. It seems she's thrown it off to the backside shoulder. And it's just gotten out of the reach of Rachel.
And Dutraman,
great throw, actually.
Well, I don't know if it was Ewers who won that battle with her eyes, but Rachel actually then bit inside, trying to take what she thought was a slant, and then a nice move by Cubis, and that long arm span brought in 6. 2-point conversion upcoming. Again, looking to the corner of the end zone for Laurenton. Failed to hook up. Score remains at 42-0 here in the fourth.
That ball's very lofty. If you got your 22s out here, it's perfect duck hunting season right now. It's a great pass.
And there was that vertical concept you were looking for, mate.
That's what I'm saying. NFL pick me.
As we see the two teams return. Speaking about pick me, something I'm always asking on the broadcast. How did your fantasy football teams go this week, Gridiron Queensland? Hopefully better than mine.
I started Pat Mahomes.
Oh,
He got a whole 7 points.
One touchdown to Paul Hardman, who was on my team.
Just spewing because Deshaun Watson's on my bench and he's got to play this weekend. So
All right, I'm not going to judge your entire league for allowing you to somehow have Watson and Mahomes. That's all right. Chime in the comments with the status of your fantasy football leagues and teams. It's midway point of the season. This is fielded nicely there by Botel. Catch the ball on the fill, and Liz part 2. Amongst all the Rochelle Ware efforts, almost forgot the monster game that's being had by Liz part 2 so far. Poker Color also involved in the play, but shaken up there, but gets up. All right. We might have seen an injury time out there, not the case.
it's taken 5. Both teams have done a lot of running, had a lot of play time.
You see Coach August Martini on the far side of the field. Proud of his girls. I've obviously got to know him a little bit over the last couple of seasons. Joined me in the booth quite a few times. One of the nicest guys you'll meet in this community, and always so proud of his girls and the efforts they put in for him. Obviously, don't necessarily have the wins to show, but the improvement compared to last year especially,
100%.
very, very tangible.
It is a program getting developed and attracting players like Rachel Duchebrand, who's obviously experienced, played in the league and a number of teams. Shout out to Rachel as well. My previous physio got me back on the field for my first return, so appreciate it, Rach.
Yeah, no, I mentioned this back all the way in week 6, but when I asked him to describe, the addition that Rachel's been, I said, give me 3 words. He gave me 1. He said, perfect. Before moving on and elaborating, saying, providing everything I would have hoped for, and I might have put the mocker on her here. The snap's an awkward one, gets past her, and Rachel jumps on it all the way back at her own 20.
She still all smiles. And laughing at herself a bit there. She had to cover the ball up and hope she wasn't getting pounced on by anyone.
And when I asked Rachel about her move over as well, she was beaming and said she couldn't be happier. And she said she loves the culture over at Moreton Bay and loves the team and loves being part of a bunch of new and upcoming players. So Raptors prepare to
Second and forever as well here, Cam.
make the hike back to the original line of scrimmage. Let's see if they've got any the extra whipped out. Otherwise, the favourite play right now would be a Ware carry up the middle. And this time over the middle, trying to get this ball to someone new, but Liz Patu picks this off and carries the ball like a loaf of bread into the end zone. Second pick 6 for this defense today, and Liz Patu showing that not only can she hit, she can play with a bit of finesse as well.
There's coaches on the sideline berating Liz for how she's hurrying that ball. Very dangerous, but no one was catching it, so in that instance it works out.
Well, that might sit well in the NRL nines, where she would not look at a place right now. Liz Patu with a Sevens background and a rugby union background, but making easy work of that last play there, even if she did carry that ball back in a little too liberally.
And sidelines ordering Liz to do 10 push-ups for how she carried that ball.
It's 48-0 now. Following the pick 6 to Liz Patu. 2-point conversion here with the offense back on the field. You was looking right, rolling right now, looking for the corner of the end zone to Sunshine Lawrenson. They've been trying to get that hook up all afternoon, and this time they succeed. Successful 2-point conversion on the board. Sees the Thunder crack the 50 burger.
Yeah, great throw there in the corner, and Sunshine was on it. And just looking back at this Patu here, she's quick.
Great work
She's
there from
quick.
Baird as well to just provide that space back inside for Patu to cut back into. And coming up, both teams kitted up now for the men's game. Kicking off after this, Bayside Ravens here visiting the Logan City Bears. You see there, number 10, Jared Stegman.
Wearing my jersey, thank
Wearing
you.
a jersey that was originally listed to the man sitting to my right. And the Logan City Bears on the other side of the field. Getting prepared too. It'll be Shane Prosser again, taking the reins at quarterback. The second week in a row, a pitch off the kickoff. Dangerous, but I like it. And Rochelle Ware's got to be looking at Lonnie Botel going, are you serious? This is my one play off.
Like the inventiveness, but when you have an athlete like Rochelle Ware, you want to get into her hands as much as she might not like it at the moment, but
And first down here for the Raptors. Well, if they're willing to pitch it off the kickoff here, let's see if they've got any hook and ladders or reverses or flea flickers in store for the final few minutes of this game.
you still want to bring the effort here, you still want to fight for your pride for your club.
Dutchman now rotates back into quarterback. No rotation for Ware though, and we might see a delay game. Was that too many? So they're not getting the numbers correct there. And Gemma Hunter now comes into the D line. Oh no, it's equipment violation, and that's why the personnel change was made. Dutchman with plenty of time finds tip drill. Two Raptors players trying to tip the ball to each other. The original intended wide receiver there was Kyla Almali.
Yeah, just looking through here. Number 29 by the Youth Uni, Kayla, rather. Again, getting the pressure on the QB. It's very hard to throw and set your feet when you've got someone rushing at you full tilt.
And back to the drawing board they go. Second down and 10. And a false start here, and we'll bring this back.
I think the players acting up before the officials blew it in.
Hey, they might have given you that if you just moved with a bit of conviction. False start on the Raptors though, and that'll move them back 10. 50-0. Thunder doing a wonderful job today, earning their 50 points on the board. Trying to get some scores around the ground from today. A couple of the early games, quite possibly, would have seen some delays or some early finishes. And again, they're trying to get this ball downfield.
Oh.
And getting behind her defender was Lonnie Botel, but couldn't reel it in.
And Lani's gotten a bit of separation a couple of times today. It's just out of reach. She gets hands on it. Just slipped through her fingers.
Very colourful coaching coming from the on the sideline right now. Third down, the Raptors taking. They see Kel Hosen, who's taken a back seat this year, to despite what his shirt may suggest. He's an assistant coach this year with, of course, starting quarterback and linebacker, and now head coach Amanda Ewer's taking the reins, and a bit of a mix-up here. And if Ware can find a bit of blocking, she might be able to get the edge here, but it won't be the case. Puka Kala making a fantastic play from the defensive end position.
Very disciplined football for Puka to stay there and not bite. coming through was in the position there to make the tackle.
Thought for a second there that there was a bit of over pursuit from the Thunder, and she was one block from there from taking that downfield, I reckon, Rochelle Webb. And fourth and double sticks. Let's see if they load up. Nope, they will punt this ball away. Rochelle's back, ready to receive, literally doing it all today. Oh, no, check that. She was just there as a running back, and again, tempting fate downfield. Botel getting open, but can't quite connect with that pass. Turnover on downs, and the Thunder offense will get a chance to finish out this game with the final possession.
Uses marching our offensive team out there. Be interested to see what they do here, whether the points are important in this league, so whether they continue to drive for points and the game's over. Never mind.
Nope, I thought they would have one or two more plays there. They call the game here, and that's the scoreline. The game will finish at 15-0 here. A strong victory for the competition's front-runners, 15-0 over the Moreton Bay Raptors here in week 10 overall. And outgoing thoughts, Liam Reeves.
I just yawned. Look, a great game. It was good to see the Raptors girls, continue to fight, with less players on the sideline. Much needed rest will be needed this weekend. And great execution there by the Griffith Uni Thunder team.
Absolutely of note, Lisbeth too, with a pick six, as well as the first pick six in the first half, going to not Sunshine, Hannah Bird, picking off the short pass and returning that 4 yards for the first offensive score of the day. Lisbeth too with a huge day. Cubis with 2 touchdowns. Taylor Valach as well, and of course Ewers. Just her consistent self this afternoon. Another strong performance for her and our defense finishing off the back end for the Raptors. Obviously, said her name all day. Got to give a shout out to Rochelle Ware, who was everywhere on defense and was still carrying the rock on offense. And on top of that as well, Taryn Wiley with an intercept and plenty of work from the line women inside the trenches, going up against a very tough Thunder front all afternoon.
100%. There was always people rushing through, and why it was difficult. I believe they were overwhelmed just purely on numbers. I believe they stuck the ground to some extent. They didn't give up, so it was good to see that.
Well, a little bit of extra time between the next game, which will be seen in the men's division between the Men's Ravens taking on the Logan City Bears, scheduled to kick off at 6:30. Is a possibility that could be moved early, but as of right now, we understand that the game is still scheduled to kick off at 6:30 here on the live streaming Brisbane Gridiron Queensland broadcast. Keep an eye on the Facebook page, though, and we will notify you if that changes.